What is going on, Nuggets Nation NBA fans? My name is Tom Leuthner. Welcome back to Nuggets Today, presented by Fan Arch. Obviously, we have some things to talk about when it comes to Denver and Nikola Jokic and how good Nikola Jokic really is, and some other just Western Conference news that's been going on throughout the last couple days now. When this video is posted, the game I will be talking about will be, I guess, 2 days old now for Nikola Jokic, but he just dominates. He dominates. It's so nice to see. And I know we were talking about Val dominating Nikola Vucevic, and in Eurobasket, and it's good to see as a backup center. But Nikola Jokic, he's so good, right? Goes up against Kristaps Porzingis, NBA talent, a guy who's supposed to be this huge rim protector. Obviously, he did fall off a little bit last year. Not sure really what he was dealing with in the playoffs for the Celtics, but he did fall off a little bit. But everybody thinks he's going to be the Hawks' savior in the Eastern Conference. Nikola Jokic played 32 minutes and put up 39 points with a massive three-pointer at the end of the game. He's never seen a shot that he doesn't like, and he is super confident in those kinds of clutch moments. I believe the score is 79-72, and he's a step back from the three-point line on a pick and pop and just knocks it down without hesitation, pulls up, boom, knocks it down, puts the game away for Serbia. He did have 10 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals, 1 block. The one thing I will say in Eurobasket especially, and I know that there are certain things that are different from the NBA in the way that they play in the NBA, but Nikola Jokic looks so good defensively in Eurobasket so far. He's just keeping up with his steals. You're seeing more and more blocks from him. I believe 2 games ago he had 2 blocks. This game he had 1 block. Obviously on the offensive side, he is just fully dominating against other NBA talent players or other NBA players. He just can't be stopped, and I love to see it because I think there's a different beast in Jokic right now, especially in Eurobasket, because he is so passionate about playing for Serbia and representing Serbia. So to see Jokic put up lines like this and want to act, he obviously wants to make a difference and dominate for Serbia. If he is able to go win gold, and this is something that Stretch and I have talked about, if he is able to go win gold, I think he's coming into the NBA just ready to fully tear up. Everybody says that, well, his attitude is it's not basketball ready attitude. It's his attitude where he's nonchalant, doesn't care. I think that if he wins gold, he's gonna want to come back to the US, play for the Nuggets, the best Nuggets team that he's ever been a part of, and fully dominate the NBA. And I think that is what he wants to do. Take over, go win gold, go win another finals, and honestly just continue boosting his legacy, his morale. Now, the one thing I do want to talk about though, with Jokic, outside of how amazing he really is and how amazing that performance was against a guy like Porzingis, is the fact that there was a little bit of an injury scare during the last game. Now, we all know that Jokic in the playoffs against the Thunder did hurt his elbow. Hartenstein grabbed him and sort of tossed him on a post-up move, and he landed on his elbow. And then from that day on, we saw him wear 2 elbow sleeves because obviously he was banged up, and it's something that was pretty massive for Denver because I think that when you look at his shooting splits, everybody's, well, oh, he can't perform in the clutch and he's not a clutch player. I think it was way more than that. I think it was the fact that he literally couldn't do anything because his elbow was so messed up. His shooting was off a little bit. Not that he couldn't do anything, but he couldn't play the way that he plays when he's fully healthy, obviously. And in the last game for Serbia, he did fall. He took a little bit of a hit. Went down, landed on his elbow, hit the bottom of the basket, like the leg of the basket, and it looked like he was in a little bit of pain. He did end up checking right back in, so it didn't look too serious, which is great. But you just get nervous. You get nervous at a guy like Jokic who doesn't have, knock on wood, doesn't have much injury history because he's not this athletic specimen who's just fully trying to go out and dunk on people, or he's not playing this in, he plays in the post, but he's not playing this, Shaq game where he's just trying to back you down, dominate, and dunk on you. He's playing a very fundamentally sound game. He's playing a game where he's going to get you in the post. He's going to take, his somber shuffle. He's going to take a fadeaway. He's going to pump fake, maybe try to draw a foul. But when he draws fouls, it's not like he's getting hit and jump, like fall into the ground or dive into the ground. So it makes you a little bit nervous when a guy like Jokic goes down with an injury, especially something like that on his shooting elbow. Like I said, it didn't look too serious. He did check right back into the game. Like I said, hit that clutch 3 at the end of the game, so it didn't affect him too much. But I just don't want Jokic to re-aggravate this kind of injury, especially because it did look semi-bad in the playoffs. He was, like I said, wearing 2 arm sleeves or 2 elbow pads to protect his elbow a little bit more. So I do just get nervous personally when a guy like Jokic goes down with that kind of injury on his shooting arm, and then it's re-aggravated in the summer. Hopefully all is good. Like I said, checked right back in. Doesn't look like it's anything crazy. There's no reports on it at all, and Jokic isn't the type of guy that's going to report an injury like that, but he looks good. Now, on the other hand, there's another NBA player on Team Serbia with Jokic, and that is Bogdan Bogdanovic. Bogdan Bogdanovic is officially out for the rest of Eurobasket, which hurts Serbia's chances of winning, not as much. I believe they're still the favorites to win. They're the betting odds favorites to win still, even without Bogdanovic, which really proves how good Nikola Jokic is. Then they also have Nikola Jovic, who's a guy who I loved. I wish Denver would have tried to make a trade for him if they didn't. He is on Miami. He's a shot creator. The he's awesome. He's taller. I think he's in the 6'7" to 6'10" range. Small forward, power forward combo who's able to shoot. He's been dominating. And then Tristan Vukovic, I believe is how you pronounce the last guy's name. He's another guy, another NBA talent on Serbia playing with Jokic. But the Bogdan Bogdanovic injury is a quadricep injury. I believe they said it was a quadricep tear, which is terrible for him. He's missing the rest of Eurobasket. I believe they said he's just going to LA so that the Clippers could really deal with the injury. And it might take a massive hit for the Clippers. Now, we're not too far from the preseason starting, so who knows what the severity of this injury is and how much time he will miss if there is any time for the NBA season. Thank God the Clippers do have the depth now after all the signings they made this offseason, because they did have a great offseason. But it does suck to see a guy like Bogdanovic, who's a player that I really like, go down with that kind of injury where it's sidelining him for majority of, or I guess the rest of the summer into the beginning of the season. So prayers up, and I wish the best for Bogdan Bogdanovic. You never want to see a guy like that go down, but it is a massive, update for Denver because they're playing the Clippers anyway. So if Bogdanovic is done for a while, that means that they're going to rely on Beal. They're going to probably rely on Chris Paul off the bench in that unit even more. So prayers up for Bogdan Bogdanovic. Now, this last topic, talking about the free agency and people who have been signed. A former LA Clipper is demanding more money, and that is Ben Simmons, who does not want to take the league minimum. And that is also a former Nugget. Russell Westbrook does not want to take the league minimum from the sources that I'm seeing. So it's a little interesting to me because I think that Russ is a guy who might deserve maybe more than the vet minimum, but at this point in free agency, you're not going to get that, especially after the hand surgery and the hand injury that Russ had. And with Ben Simmons, I could understand Russ more than Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons didn't really prove much this past year. Maybe in his career he has, but that doesn't really do wonders for you right now if you're attempting to go ahead and win or sign with a team that wants to win. So, like I said, I knew the Knicks had interest in Ben Simmons, but I doubt they'll give him any more money, if they even could give him any more money at this moment. Russ, I am interested to see, because it does look like the Kings want to open up some cap space to bring him in, but they both might remain free agents in the beginning of the season. So that's all I got for you guys today, Nuggets Nation. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. I will catch you guys tomorrow with another episode. Thank you guys for checking it out.